With credit card annual fees rising, we've also seen the addition of credits. This puts people in a weird spot. For a lot of people in cities who actively use these services, they might actually be getting more value. For others who don't benefit, it means that cards get more expensive with no reprieve. What if you want to travel though, but you ignore the credit-heavy cards? Today we're going to run through different options that work for an anti-credit travel credit card setup. Big favor before we dive into everything though is to give this a thumbs up to help with the algorithm. If you know someone that might benefit, then share this with them. First up, we have the classic edition of the Chase Trifecta. Here you have 3 cards: the Chase Freedom Unlimited, the Chase Freedom Flex, and the Chase Sapphire Preferred card. This is one of the oldest setups, but it still pulls its weight. The annual fees here are pretty minimal, and you have 2 that are no fee and 1 that's $95. Okay, so what do each of these cards do? The Chase Freedom Unlimited offers elevated multipliers on a few different categories. So you get 5% back on Chase Travel, 3% for dining, and 3% for drug stores. Its other key benefit is 1.5% on everything. It does have a lot of overlap with its brother. The Chase Freedom Flex is no annual fee and has similar categories. The main difference is that you're getting 5% on up to $1,500 in combined spend each quarter. Activation is required and it's on different rotating categories. Historically, it's been pretty fair. Think Amazon.com, grocery stores, gym memberships, or gas stations, depending on quarter. They do vary and can change, but not too bad at all. One point of confusion is what you're earning. Per the marketing, you're earning cash back. Per the terms and conditions and what's happening behind the scenes, you're earning points. In fact, that's why this is a trifecta and why the system works. What you earn at the top 2 can be transferred to the bottom 1 to get elevated value. Before we look at that though, let's look at the card itself. The Chase Sapphire Preferred card does have a lot of overlap with the prior 2. The main additions would be 3x for online groceries and select streaming services, and also 2x for all other travel outside of Chase Travel. You also do have elevated partner multipliers with Lyft and Peloton. On top of this, you get a 10% anniversary point bonus. Note that this is purely looking at your spend of the card and ignores multipliers. So if you spend $25K, you get 2,500 extra points. In terms of annual fees, you're looking at $95, which isn't bad, and there is an up to $50 annual Chase Travel Hotel credit. I think you can and should value this maybe at a discount, but for the purpose of this video, let's assume you mark it down to 0. Even then, it's not bad since this card has always had a $95 fee. My guess is that the credit was to encourage use of their portal. Outside of this, the other main perk I think is interesting is primary auto rental collision damage waiver. So CDW. Most of the cards come with secondary. Primary CDW means that it hits that first before your own personal insurance, which could protect your premiums. The reason it's a trifecta though is that it's a conduit for your Chase points. As of filming, Chase has 11 airline partners, with Air Canada Aeroplan, Singapore Airlines KrisFlyer, and Virgin Atlantic Flying Club being the stronger ones. For example, if you're looking to fly ANA first or business class from the US to Japan, Virgin Atlantic is one of the best currencies in terms of pure value, especially if you have decent flexibility. Or you're willing to do the homework, set alerts, and stay on top of availability. But yeah, value's hard to beat. For example, for business class, it's $52.5K from Western US to Japan and $60K from Central and Eastern US to Japan. For first class, it's $72.5K from Western US and $85K for Central and Eastern US. So for me out of San Francisco, it'd be 105K points plus taxes and fees. Paying out of pocket for economy, I'm looking at $800 round trip. And that would be with United Metal. With ANA Metal, you're looking at almost $1,300 for a round trip, and this is an economy. The main draw of points, at least to me, is that you can get a VIP experience as a P. You're still paying something since there's an opportunity cost, but it beats paying the rack price. Outside of airlines, they also have 3 hotel partners, World of Hyatt being the best pick for me. You do have to run the numbers, but this is one of the few options that work whether you're into economy picks or premium ones like ocean or ski resorts or fancy hotels in expensive cities. The Chase Sapphire Preferred card is the key to unlocking this upside. The card also sits in an interesting spot in the current landscape. It's the lowest annual fee personal card that still has access to transfer partners. Especially with the Chase Sapphire Reserve jumping up to $795, the $95 here feels substantially more reasonable. Even more so if you have a hard time using all the new credits with that card. On that note, if you want to learn more about these cards or the ones coming up and you want to support the channel, we have links on the website asksebi.com and also down below in the description box. Make sure the links are competitive, but otherwise, it's a huge way to support the channel, so thank you in advance. Next up, let's look at the Citi Trifecta. Here you have a pretty similar setup. So you have two no annual fee cards and a $95 one that acts as the conduit. The Citi Double Cash card is pretty straightforward and you get 1% back when you buy and 1% when you pay. So effectively 2% back on everything. You're also getting 5% back total on hotels, car rentals, and attractions booked on Citi Travel. Super straightforward there. The Citi Custom Cash card is pretty interesting. So you earn 5% cash back on your top eligible spend category and up to $500 spend per billing cycle. Lots of categories here including restaurants, gas stations, grocery stores, select travel, select transit, select streaming services, drugstores, home improvement stores, fitness clubs, and live entertainment. So for example, let's say this month you spend $500 on restaurants and $400 gas stations. Since $500's higher, you're earning 5% there. Next month, let's say you spend $500 on both, then you're getting 5% on one and 1% on the other one. Let's say for month 3 you spend $600 on restaurants, then you're only getting 5% on the first $500 and 1% on the remainder. But yeah, for everything else, you're earning 1% back. The only exception is 5% total on hotels and car rentals booked on Citi Travel. Heading over to the Citi Strata Premier card, you have a $95 annual fee, but also an annual hotel benefit. It's going to be $100 off a single hotel stay of $500 or more booked through cititravel.com. This is another one where the fee technically didn't change. They just added the credit afterwards to drive bookings through their portal. This card does have extremely strong multipliers. You're getting 10x back on hotels, car rentals, and attractions booked on cititravel.com, 3x for air travel and hotels purchased outside of Citi Travel, 3x for restaurants, supermarkets, gas stations, and EV charging stations, and 1x on everything else. Here, instead of transferring points between cards, you have to make sure that they're in the same pool. If the pool includes the Citi Strata Premier card, then you can transfer out to partners. As of right now, ignoring legacy cards, there's only 2 options that allow you to transfer to partners. $95 is a lot cheaper than $595, especially if you don't like the credits with the Citi Strata Elite card. Citi has 15 airline partners, including some good ones like Singapore and Virgin Atlantic. The most interesting and unique one, though, would be American Airlines Advantage. This is great for their direct partners and also oneworld. For example, Japan Airlines for first class, which is amazing and a great experience if you're heading to Asia. Same thing with Etihad if you're going to the Middle East, or maybe going to Europe depending on routing. You also have 5 hotel partners, and the best bets here would be Choice and Wyndham, but I'd probably still go with airlines to get outsized value. But yeah, not a bad setup for great multipliers and American transfers. Next up, we have Wells Fargo that offers an interesting autograph setup. It is a dual with a no annual fee card and a $95 one. Starting with the Wells Fargo autograph card, you're earning 3x on restaurants, travel, gas, transit, popular streaming, and phone plans. Note that this card also doesn't have foreign transaction fees. With most other no annual fee cards, that's not the case. Strong multipliers that work even abroad for no annual fee is a solid pickup. The older brother here would be the Wells Fargo Autograph Journey card that comes in at $95 and also has a $50 annual statement credit for airline purchases. Let's say we ignore that part. Here you're getting 5x points for hotels, 4x for airlines, and 3x for restaurants and other travel. So pretty strong earn rates across the board for both of these cards. The main issue is the lack of transfer partners. At the moment, you're looking at 6 airlines and 1 hotel. Flying Blue and Virgin Atlantic can be good, but that's pretty much it. Compared to the other programs that have 2 to 3 times as many, it just feels tough. Beyond the lack of transfer partners, it depends on if you want to bank with them. For context, Wells Fargo considers San Francisco home, and it's arguably HQ. At the same time, a lot of people here don't like banking with them. But yeah, your mileage may vary. Last up, we have the Capital One Dual. This is a similar 2-card setup. As you probably guessed, no annual fee and one for $95. With the Capital One Savor Cash Rewards credit card, you're getting a no annual fee option that earns 3% back at grocery stores, dining, entertainment, and popular streaming. Also no foreign transaction fees, so it works abroad. In addition to this, you're also earning 8% back on Capital One Entertainment Portal tickets and 5% back on hotels, vacation rentals, and rental cars through Capital One Travel. All of this is technically cash back. You can transfer cash back to one of their Miles cards though to open the door to transfer partners. Here you have a lot of options. If you're trying to minimize annual fees but you're still looking for utility, your best bet would be the Capital One Venture Rewards credit card. Here you're getting 2x miles on everything, unlimited, uncapped, and then 5x on hotels, vacation rentals, and rental cars booked through Capital One Travel. There is a $95 annual fee and a credit for global entry or TSA PreCheck once every 4 years. Also, in case you're curious, for the no annual fee option, instead of 2x, you're getting 1.25x. One of the advantages of Capital One is that they have more than 15 transfer partners. For airlines, lots of fan favorites including Aeroplan, Flying Blue, Singapore, and Virgin Atlantic. You also have other potentially interesting ones like Qantas as well as Turkish. You also have hotel partners if that's your jam, but I think airlines make more sense for upside. For example, if you want to book Air France business class, Flying Blue can be a great option. We actually ended up taking the new Air France product from Tahiti to LAX, and it's hard to complain given the legroom, especially in the first row. Yeah, pretty nice hard product, and the food and soft product wasn't bad at all either. Overall, there's a lot of options to pick from. This also ignores the fact that you can blend together some of these to make a smoothie or mixed bubble tea of sorts. It's probably less practical if you have lower spend, but it might still make sense. Again, if you want to learn more about cards, we have links on the website, asksabi.com, and also down below in the description box. And if you're curious, all legal affiliate disclosures can also be found below in the description box. If you made it to this point, leave a bubble tea emoji in the comments down below, and I'll try to heart it and also respond. 3 questions: what are your thoughts on the annual fees increasing, if the credits increase, or are you not a fan? Number 2, which of these setups would you run? Or number 3, if you were to blend together a bubble tea, then which ones would you pick? Let me know and everyone else know in the comments down below. Big favorite, thumbs up, share this, but otherwise hope you liked it. See you next time.